Get an important win on their journey to World Cup qualification, they hope.
Number 35,
and certainly this is a team that has a great following. Yang Gao, they're the coach of this team now, trying to get them to next year's big 32-team event. And they come into this with a record of 5-3 in Group F. Kazakhstan are 3-5. Now we're going to pause for the playing of the national anthems.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Philippines, to be rendered by Miss Lara Maige.
Bayang magiliw, pelas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim, lupa ng araw ng luwalhatit pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Ladies and gentlemen,
always one of the great moments of international basketball is when the national anthems are played and the players come out and meet at mid-court. And now we'll get a look at our officiating crew, Huang, Jalazri, and Yi.
And our game director from the Philippines, Bernie Atienza.
We are just minutes away here at the Mall of Asia Arena from tipping off Philippines' big favorites against Kazakhstan, a team they played back in 2013 when they hosted the FIBA Asia Cup, and Philippines won that game big. Kazakhstan, of course, they didn't actually meet last year at the Asia Cup in Lebanon, nor the Asia Cup 2015. So who do we look out for? Mirzagaliev, Yergali, number 13, Zagulin, number 17, Anton Bykov, Gavrilov, all exciting players for Kazakhstan, and their starting five will be Mirzagaliev, Yergali, Bajin, Gavrilov, and Alexander Zagulin. what an arena this is. And always a joy for the Gilas players, the Filipino players, to put on the national team shirt and to come out and play in front of the home crowd. I'm sure we're in for a real treat today for Philippines, Cabagnot, Tenorio, Thompson, Aram, Slaughter, Norwood, Pringle, Lassiter, Fajardo, Aguilar, Belga, and Wright. Yingao, the coach. And they're starting 5 today. Will be Stanley Pringle, Marcio Lassiter, Norwood, Vincent Bo Belga, and Junmar Fajardo. So they've got some experience, they've got some beef, they've got some height, and they've got some passion here in this arena. Renatus Kurilianokis is the coach. Kurilianokis is putting the players through their final instructions. And Coach Gao.
At forward number 10, Gabe Norwood. At the other forward, number 30, Bo Belga.
So Gao took over
number 15, Junmar
during
Fajardo.
the qualifying campaign from Chop Rays, the former coach. And Bo Belga, you see an exciting player, really. I think I've watched him play before, and I think he's good value for money, as is Fajardo. And Lassiter, tough player, come out and acquitted himself well for this Gilas team.
Everybody to please stand. Please stand for a special tribute. Tumayo po tayo para
So
sa
right
isang
now we're going to honor the memory
tribute.
of Patrick Bowman, the former
Before we
Secretary
start
General of
the game,
FIBA,
we would
who
like to respect
died
a
on
moment
October
of silence
13th
in honor and memory
while in Argentina.
of the FIBA Secretary General and IOC member.
He was a member of the
Patrick
IOC.
Bowman. Secretary General of FIBA since
He was
2002, Mr.
a visionary,
Bowman passed away at the age of 51
and it
on
came
the
as a
13th
huge
of
shock
October in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
that he passed away at the
With
age
his
of 51.
passion and determination,
But
Patrick
his
Bowman
legacy
was the
lives
leader
on,
and
and
advocate
part of that legacy are
basketball
these World Cup
worldwide.
qualifiers,
He was also
bringing
instrumental in the creation
national
of
team
FIBA's
basketball
new
back
competition
to the
system
home fans,
with a vision to bring basketball
regular
closer
games
to fans
all the time, getting
all
young
over the
players a
world.
chance to play,
As a
growing the
sign
game of basketball,
sorrow
making it
and
more popular,
solidarity to his family,
and perhaps
may we
more
kindly
importantly
ask
than
you
all,
to
just a
stand
great
in
man and a
respect
great friend to
this
everybody.
moment
So
of
it's a very
silence.
sad loss, and we're going to have a moment of silence.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
So a great tribute to Patrick Bowman
versus Gilas
here in the
Pilipinas.
Philippines.
This
And
is my house.
of course, the Philippines will be hosting the World Cup along with Japan and Indonesia in 2023. That's down the road. And we are about ready to tip things off. Well, good afternoon, folks. Good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching. We are in Manila, the Philippines, and this is a FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian Qualifier between the Philippines and Kazakhstan. And festive atmosphere here in the Mall of Asia. You hear the band getting after it already. Kazakhstan working some clock and getting things off already for Kazakhstan. Number 17, Zagulin, the veteran. Pringle dances his way into the lane. Kazakhstan in dire straits here as they try to get to the World Cup. They need some wins. And this is a big ask to get one here in this basketball hotbed. This time Zagulin going to work down low and turns it over. Now Gabe Norwood gets it back to Belga. Fajardo, looks like he's trimmed up a bit, doesn't it? Turns, puts it up. Zagulin flies in for the rebound. Zagulin again. And it looks like a foul has been called on Rustam Mirzagaliev.
It's first down, first team foul, Kazakhstan. 18 seconds on the shot clock.
18 seconds on the shot clock. So that was the basket that Pringle scored on their previous possession. Here's Pringle again. Shakes and bakes. Gets rejected. Not in my house, says Gavrilov. Three-point attempt. And so far, the Zagulin three, the only points for Kazakhstan. That was Bazin missing that three, and now Gavrilov commits a foul. His hands on Pringle. You see the swat on the previous possession. Gavrilov fouled Junmar Fajardo, in fact. Here's Pringle again. Shot clock about to expire, so Norwood lets one fly. Grazes the outside of the net, and you can see the Kazakhstan coach over on the sideline emphasizing the need to control the tempo, play under control. Renatas Karilianokis. But the quick trigger from Mirzagaliev. And that gives the ball back to the Philippines. Both teams getting slow starting here from an offensive standpoint. And Bo Belga short. Karilianokis that time looked like he wanted to push the tempo a little bit more. He was a little bit frustrated. And the shot goes up and out of bounds from Yergali. Well, you can't imagine the passion, the love, the intensity around basketball in the Philippines. It is amazing. They love their own basketball. They love everybody's basketball. They just can't get enough. And when the national team plays, the whole country stops. And nice drive inside. So Yergali gets his first 2 points and the second basket. Now Belga looked like he pushed off a little bit. Maybe got away with that. Zagulin looks and says, well, where's the whistle? Yergali quickly and fouled by Norwood.
Holding foul number 10, Gabe Norwood. His first foul, first team foul for the Philippines.
Karilianokis wanting to get the upset today. Yergali putting his head down and going hard to the hole.
Two free throws for Rustam Yergali.
And the first one is good, so positive start here for Kazakhstan. Remember, they started these World Cup qualifiers in really strong fashion, albeit not against the best opposition. They won 82-70 at Qatar. They followed that up with an 82-76 home win over Iraq. But then in the second window, they fell at home to Iran 75-54 before bouncing back at home and winning 96-63 over Qatar. So they were 3-1. But they haven't won since. Foul call on Belga. So after that win, since that win, and the big loss for them came on June 29th when they fell 64-50 in Doha against Iraq. That was a game they really, really needed to win. And they followed it up with another 32-point defeat to Iran, and then they fell to Japan and Australia in the last window. But with 4 games remaining, they're still in the hunt. Bashin picks up the foul. Boy, just 2 points for Gilas here in the first 4.5 minutes. .40 local time here, PM. And the dump! Well, Fajardo, his first 2 of the game. Good work that time by Gilas. Making sure they got a better shot. They're trying to attack it down low. Now Zagulan hands the ball off to Yagale, but then he just loses it. I don't know if he was trying to go behind his back, but he lost it. Lassiter, got it! 3-pointer cuts that deficit to 1 point. Chance of defense. Defense now through the Mall of Asia. Nowhere to go for Kazakhstan, and Norwood brings it forward, hands it off to Pringle for 3. But he was short. Well, you know, if they check Matthew Wright in the game, he's going to be uncorking some threes. Here's Zagulan off the back of the iron. Kazakhstan getting some open looks, but the offense doesn't look good right now. The drive and nice bounce pass to Lassiter. Philippines take the lead. Oh, tough move from Yagale, but doesn't finish. Now Pringle to Fajardo. Fajardo goes to work. Soft shot, it's good. And from trailing 7-2 to leading 11-7, that's enough for Karilianokas. He calls timeout over on the Kazakhstan bench. So here was the basket from Fajardo, and Philippines were slow starting, but they have picked it up a little bit here the last minute or so, and making it look easy as well. There, Belga with the bounce pass to Lassiter. Kazakhstan need an injection of offense from somebody. Who's it going to provide it? Well, the turnover, poor decision, poor pass. Norwood attacks after the steal, and you could argue that was also a poor decision by him. Zagulan goes baseline, pump fake, and he will go to the line.
His first foul, 3 team fouls for the Philippines. Substitution for the Philippines.
Aguilar into the game now, as is Matthew Wright. And veteran Norwood heads over to the bench. Already in Asia today, Australia winning 76-47 at home over Iran. They walloped them in Melbourne. And clinched a spot in the World Cup. So they are the first team from Asia to clinch a spot. Obviously, China will be there as the host nation, but they're also playing in the qualifiers. Zagulan misses the free throw. Karelianokis is pacing the sidelines already. And Japan got a very big win. They were trailing by a point at halftime against Qatar at home. But they got a win as well, 85-47. They really blew them out in the second half. Kazakhstan not able to capitalize on the offensive rebound off the missed free throw. And Gilas hustle down the court and get it to Japeth Aguilar. Zagulan for three. Good. Finally. Seems to be their best offense right now. Zagulan shooting open three-pointers. 2 of 4. And now the turnover, the steal. And good hands by Lassiter. There's an opportunity there for Kazakhstan's Bykov, but wasn't able to finish. Zagulan again left open, and that time it rimmed out. And a foul called on Wright. Battling for the rebound. Well, Zagulan came into this game pretty credible, 42.1% inside the arc, and there he gets inside for the dunk. So really, for all intents and purposes right now, it's Philippines 13, Zagulan 12. He's got most of their points. In fact, I think he's got 9 of their 11. No, he's got 8 of their 11 points. Yergali has a couple, and we've also got a free throw.
3.7 seconds on the shot clock. 3.7 seconds to shoot.
Here he is again for the two-handed jam. And a little desperation heave there right at the end of the shot clock. Now, Zagulan had come in having hit 8 of 19 shots from three-point range. And he's well on his way to eclipsing both the attempts and the, maybe not the makes, but he's put up several threes already. And another three, this one from Kuanov. And Kazakhstan go back in front. And the three-point attempt is good from the Philippines, number 5, Tenorio. Philippines almost come up with a steal.
Good ball. Substitution substitution for Kazakhstan. Shot clock at 15 seconds.
So your Galley checks out of the game. Maxime Marchuk in now. And again, an easy 2 for Bykov and Kazakhstan. So final 20 seconds ticking off the clock here in the first quarter. Maxime Marchuk called for the foul.
Number 25, Maxime Marchuk. His first foul, 14 fouls for Kazakhstan. Substitution for Kazakhstan.
Bounce pass inside and the miss, but the follow was there from Aguilar. The miss was from Slaughter.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first period, it is 18 for the Philippines, 17 for
But nevertheless, the 2 points right at the end of the quarter puts Philippines in front at the end of one. So the early numbers. Philippines 6 of 14 inside the arc, 2 of 5 from deep. Philippines 3 of 8 from, Kazakhstan 3 of 8 from deep and 3 of 5 inside the arc. Here's some of the highlights from the first quarter.
starting the second quarter, ball possession.
Well, promising start for Kazakhstan. They've it's helped that they've hit some shots. The question is, can they maintain that? Sloppy play leads to the turnover and the fast break from Bykov. Philippines down low to Slaughter. This is everything. Up ahead, and this time Zagulin puts it in. Another turnover, careless play, and Bykov goes in for the dunk. And Yingao needs to call timeout. Kazakhstan alive and kicking in Manila.
What happens is we don't know what plays we're running anymore. We're getting lost. Everybody's lost.
Philippines, you hear the coach talking as they're 8 of 20 from the floor, and he says, what's happening is we're not running our plays anymore. Everybody's lost.
Run your sets like we practice them.
Kazakhstan shooting at 56%.
Turnover. Okay, потом будет фейк со слот, фейк handoff, фейк со слот, handoff. И тогда offside.
You would have thought if there was a team that was getting fast break points, it would be Philippines, but instead right now it's Kazakhstan. They've got 6. And Slaughter just fumbled the ball. And that led to 2 of those fast break points. And Kazakhstan themselves have averaged about 21.5 turnovers per game. And that'll be an interesting stat to see the miss and the rebound for Kazakhstan. Right now they've turned it over 5 times, so a little bit better than normal, though they've still got plenty of time to get careless with the ball. Here's Kazakhstan attacking again. And the bounce pass, there's a turnover. And up to Wright. And Wright earns a trip to the free throw line.
Foul is on number 6, Shane Kuanov. That's his first foul. First team foul for Kazakhstan. Shooting 2, Matthew Wright.
So Matthew Wright goes to the line, looking to start a little run here for the Philippines, who are out of sorts. Obviously, some of their players still serving suspensions from the fracas with Australia back in the first round. But gradually, those suspensions are being filled. Jason Castro is a player they could probably like to have back. Wright makes just 1 of 2. It's odd to see him miss a shot. He turns, passes it to a wide open Luis Alfred Tenorio, and he drills the 3, and that's what happens when you fail to get a defensive rebound. You give a team another shot, and they punish you. And now Tenorio putting the pressure on Shaim Kuanov. Zagulin for 3. Good! Another one! Zagulin, 13 points here in the first half. And now Kazakhstan knock it away from Aguilar. Great defense. Zagulin again, he's feeling it. And good hustle from Kazakhstan to get the offensive rebound. That was Sherbak. And now Bikov misses down low, and the Philippines have it. Wright drives in and draws the foul from Kuanov.
Foul is on number 6, Shane Kuanov, his second foul. Second team foul for Kazakhstan. Substitution for Kazakhstan.
Well, that was Tenorio's three-pointer. But at the other end, Zagulin drilled the 3. He takes a. Oh no, he hasn't taken. Has he taken a seat? Yeah, he's left the game. So Zagulin has sat down, and he's been their main weapon of attack, Kazakhstan. Wright makes both. Zagulin 5 of 9 from the floor. He's 3 of 7 from three-point range. Remember, he came into this having made 8 threes in the qualifiers and having attempted 19. So he's really put them up today. There's Galiev, number 10, and passes it over to Sherback. And Scotty Thompson picks up the foul. Sherback gets instructions from the coach. Now Aram comes into the game for Slaughter. Well, sloppy play, but Kazakhstan get away with it. And then a little bit of miscommunication. So Marchuk turns it over. Pass was intended for Lapchenko, number 14. Here's Wright. He's got the right stuff again. 26 apiece. 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. Sherback goes to work.
His first foul, second team foul for the Philippines. Substitution for Kazakhstan.
Well, Sherback looked pretty dangerous on that drive. Maybe we'll see him try to beat somebody off the dribble again. He inbounds it here. Gets it to Yergali, who's been quiet. Good defense, almost forcing the turnover. And Wright called for the kick. Here's Yergali. Yergali backs up right. And then he gets rejected. The ball might have gone off Kazakhstan there, off for Yergali. There's Lapchenko, number 14. Not much time on the clock. They get it inside to Bykov, and he is fouled. Great work that time by Kazakhstan.
Notice on number 4, Alex Kabakov. His first foul, 3 team fouls for the Philippines. 2 free throws.
So Kabak not called for the foul. Quiet start for him as well. Kirilianokis looking on from the bench. Does his team have enough firepower to upset Philippines here in Manila today? So he makes 1 of 2. Bykov 7 points, and is Kazakhstan back in front? Well, you have to like your chances the longer the game goes on and it's close, that's for sure. Kabagnat misses. There's a Galiev with the rebound. Now Yergali has it. He's forced over to the sideline and his pass intercepted. Now 4-1 break. The pass back. And Aram makes it his first 2 of the game. Philippines back on top. Yergali not having a great game right now. Really struggling. Lapchenko. Sherback. That was long. Bykov gets inside and he is blocked by Aram, but a foul has been called. They called the foul on Aguilar, so not on Aram. That was Aram on the break. I know the foul was on Aram. He's got good size, 29 years of age. Aram, JP Aram measures, or Poi Aram, measures 2.07 meters in height. 6 feet 9 inches. And Bikoff goes to the line again and makes the first here to tie it back up. Kirilianokis like, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. Come on. Second one is good as well, and Kazakhstan moves back in front. So they're shooting 5 of 8 from the line today, 62.5%. They were in the 50s before that. Cherbak comes out. Bazin, Bikov, Lapchenko, Mirzagaliev, and Yergali on the court right now. Remember, Zagulin out of the game, their leading scorer, catching a breather. And great defense there from Yergali. Speaking of Yergali today, he's only attempted a couple of shots, and he's turned it over 3 times. He does have 2 points, a couple made free throws. And Mirzagaliev has yet to score as well. Here's Yergali. They need to get him going. Back outside to Mirzagaliev for 3! Kazakhstan now up by 4 points. The 3-point shot has helped them today so far. Lassiter back over to Pringle. Pringle's got to launch it. He does. And not sure what the Philippines were doing other than standing around on offense, because they had to settle for that. Mirzagaliev again. 2 in a row. Look at the confidence growing in this Kazakhstan team. As they head back to the bench, Philippines call timeout. And the execution lacking for Philippines right now on both ends of the floor.
We used to work harder than that kanina. We're not working that hard anymore. Yung mga cross matchups natin, hindi mo naman tao yun, di ba?
8 assists, 7 turnovers for the Philippines. 8 assists and 9 turnovers for Kazakhstan, but they're winning it.
Para iwasan natin yung mga cross matchups. Hindi naman niya tao yun eh. Napa-help siya eh. Come on, let's go. Ой, set up, set up. На дриблинге вас, смотрите, играют они что? Играют хедж, сейчас outside pick.
That's where they're really hurting the Philippines, the rebounding. 6 offensive boards.
Следующее нападение играйте один низ special. Come on, come on. Поставил заслон, ушел.
Both teams have 12 points off turnovers, and Kazakhstan have 8 second chance points. But these 3-pointers from Mirzagaliev have given them their biggest lead of the game. Now in front by 7 points. Boy, they would be the toast of the town back in Kazakhstan if they were to spring a surprise here today. That's for sure. Pringle drives in. There for the tap-in was Fajardo. And Yergali travels.
Substitution for the Philippines. Substitution for Kazakhstan.
Pringle looking for an opening. The Philippines love it. A couple times he's had the dazzling dribbles, the crossovers, but once he's taken his shot, he's been rejected. Zagulin fresh right off the bench, and he hits another 3. Goodness gracious me. Having the game of his life for Kazakhstan here in the first half. 16 points already. Fajardo and Norwood, good job knocking it out to Fajardo for another opportunity for Gilas. Fajardo has it. This time he's not going to miss. Yes, he does. They stay with it, and Kazakhstan escape. One of the three-pointers today. Another, they tried to get it inside to Zagulin, but Norwood did a good job, and racing in was Thompson for the layup. Well, the turnovers were always a problem for Kazakhstan, and already now they're up to 11. Yugali, that was a quick three. Pringle behind his back over to Fajardo. Thompson again. Oh, he's bringing some life to Gilas. They love him. Now Kazakhstan have to burn the timeout. Well, that's all they needed. They just needed a little dose of Scotty Thompson. But what you don't like, in my opinion, is the quick three from Yugali. If it's Zagulin, I might accept it because he's as hot as a firecracker. But Yugali needs to, you got to make the Philippines work. Three-point shot has been huge for Kazakhstan today. 7 steals for the Philippines, and that's certainly giving them a boost. And here was Thompson, that last layup. And another turnover, but then Fajardo's pass almost intercepted. But Thompson nipped in there, took the ball himself. He hands it off, and Pringle gets rejected by Zagulin. And now that leads to a break for Kazakhstan, but no. Norwood reaches up and steals it away. Pringle from the left corner, count it! Gilas now trail by just 1. Chance of defense ringing throughout the Mall of Asia, and the rejection from Lassiter. He sends Bozin's attempt over to the sideline, or to the baseline. Here's Pringle. He's been hooping and scooping, but he hasn't been scoring until that. We had an early shot, but now another turnover. Lassiter has it. If the game gets crazy like this, you think it has to favor the Philippines. And sure enough, Pringle gets in and puts them back in front. Kazakhstan will try to get the last basket, and they maybe just have, with that drive, Philippines a little bit of time. But I'm not even sure they were aware of the clock. So Kazakhstan takes some hits right at the end of the first half, with the Philippines taking the lead, but then a layup from Mirzagaliev, and it's Kazakhstan on top 40-39.
The voice of Tristan
Well, what a great game, folks. Kazakhstan, their shooting has been pretty good, and it remains to be seen if they can keep up that pace, but their rebounding has helped them. What they have to worry about are the turnovers. Against this Philippines team, they've got 14 already, on pace to go well beyond their normal 21.5 turnovers. So some great play here by the team from Kazakhstan. Coming out, leading by as many as 7 points, with Zagulin catching fire and hitting 4 3-pointers. Philippines have come back. And you just feel like if the game opens up and it gets a little bit crazy, a little bit helter-skelter, there's only going to be one team in it, and that's the Philippines. But if Kazakhstan can control the tempo, they can make this game stay in the contest a pretty long way. You get the feeling, especially if they can do that, if they can hit some shots. So the fans back in Astana, they would have been feeling pretty good before that man right there, Thompson, started to get in on the act. And his injection really changed things. And then all of a sudden, Pringle started making some shots as well, going in amongst the land of the trees, not backing down. But Kazakhstan have reclaimed the lead, and they are 20 minutes away from a very important result. What will it be? Will it be an upset for Kazakhstan, or will it be an important win as well for the Philippines? Well, we'll be right back.
Играйте кулак в сторону с бэкскрином. Смотрите. Коля выносит мяч. Саша, Антон, Шаим. Шаим. Кэп. Значит.
Or
40-39, Kazakhstan on top of Philippines at halftime of this second round Group F game here in Asia, the Asian Qualifiers. We're in the Mall of Asia in Manila. And Kazakhstan have come out and given a good account of themselves. They could really do with that man getting on track. Your galley. But Zagulin has been terrific. 16 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, and he's 4 of 8 from three-point range.
Ball possession to Kazakhstan to start the third quarter.
Stanley Pringle. See, he's got 7 points. Came to life late in that first half. And Thompson picks up the foul quickly here. So if you've been away to get a cup of tea or a cold beverage, we are back in action here in Manila. And another foul called on Thompson. Tenorio, excuse me, I said Thompson. So Luis Alfred Tenorio. And now an offensive foul called on Yagali. And the Filipinos, and look, boy, he caused some blood on that one. So your Galley, who went up to check on him afterwards, I don't believe there was intent, but similarly to Tenorio, both of those Filipino players playing such good defense in your face that they kind of exposed themselves. Now they have actually called an unsportsmanlike. And I can understand where your Galley's coming from, but at the same time, he did catch him with his elbow, so you have to understand the referees, I think, are within their rights to call that an unsportsmanlike. So 2 free throws and possession for the Philippines. And will this be a turning point in the game? But you have to say Lassiter has certainly come off worse with the cut on the nose and the blow on the nose. And I think good control shown by the Filipino players here. Just letting it play out with the free throws and the possession, and hopefully Lassiter will be back soon. But Pringle, meanwhile, will check into the game and take the free throws for Lassiter. So he ties it up with the first one. And Lassiter's a tough player. He's played a lot of basketball in his life, and he knows the game gets physical at times. And even inadvertently, as I think that was, you can sometimes catch an elbow. And Yagali was the first one to go up to him just to check on him to make sure he was okay. But we'll see if that also sparks this Philippines team. Aguilar. Ball goes off of Pringle's hands and out of bounds. So it goes back over to Kazakhstan. Galley sizes up the defense. Belga comes out to meet him. Now quickly down low to Bikoff. Bikoff goes up. Oh, powerful move. Terrific finish. Belga was back in position, but Bikoff didn't back down. Tenorio misses. Now your Galley. And a break here. Pringle, beautiful pass, and the finish from Gabe Norwood. Well, that was highlight reel stuff from Pringle. Wonderful layoff. Zaguli fakes the handoff himself, and he's guarded by Aguilar. Oh, beautiful move from Zagulin. The crafty veteran getting it inside and earning the trip to the line. Boy, everything that he has done today has been effective. This was Bikoff, who did a great job because Belga had gotten back into position. But look at that sweetest of passes from Pringle. Well, maybe the question is, how far can Kazakhstan go? Well, the answer is they can go as far as Zagulin can take them, because right now he is their modus operandi. He is doing everything in the scoring department anyway. He's got 17 points. He's scoring inside. He's scoring outside. Make it 18 points. Aguilar. And Zagulin again. This time it's too long. And the foul has been called. So Pringle wants to see the ball to go in the hoop, but at least he'll get a trip to the line.
Second team foul for Kazakhstan. Two free throws for Stanley Pringle. Substitution for the Philippines.
So the first one is good from Pringle. And he misses the second, sneaks in, tries to take it away, but Zagulin gets the rebound. Gagali drives in the lane and some contact. So he gets to the line.
Foul is on number 13, Marshall Lassiter. His first foul, 14 fouls for the Philippines.
Lassiter back in the game after taking the blow to the face. He's got it taped up. Boy, when it's not working for you, it's not working for you. And Ugali averages 11.1 points per game. But he does have struggles at the free throw line. He came in shooting 57.1%. Well, he'd only attempted 7, so he was 4 of 7. So his production down just a little bit right now. Still got time to rectify that. Kazakhstan lead it by 1. Pringle puts it on the deck, gets inside, good move, and then great job rebounding there by Bykov. And your Galley just put up a brick. Surprised they're not running something for Zagulin almost every trip down the floor the way that he's been playing. Belga, bounce pass. Boy, that was a good catch by Aguilar. And then Aguilar doesn't score over Zagulin. Surely they're going to find Zagulin. Here he is. Goes behind his back. Now he makes the pass down to Bykov. Ugali has it. And his struggles continue. Ugali with 3 points, 4 rebounds, 8 turnovers. He has a -4 efficiency, and you almost wonder if the coach is thinking about sitting him down for a while. Here's Pringle again, gets inside and scores. And the hometown team back in front. Now Ugali back to Zagulin, and that man Zagulin hits another one. His 5th three-pointer of the game. He's 5 of 10 from deep. Pringle answers for Gilas. Pringle coming to life. He's got 12 points. Quick pass down low to Ugali. Great find and good finish that time by Ugali. And maybe with that basket, that'll boost his confidence. Good pass from Bykov. Pringle, however, goes to the other end and scores once more. Boy, he is carrying the load. 14, now 17 points. And good steal from Belga. He gives it to Lassiter. Oh, and Lassiter was able to get it up before Bazin flew in. And it looks like a mixture of sweat and blood going down the face of Lassiter. Philippines up by 3. And Belga comes up and commits the foul. And Mirzagaliev not winning many fans by appealing for an unsportsmanlike over there on the bench. But look at Pringle. He was using his body exceptionally well here. Gets in the lane. Even maybe even unlucky that a foul wasn't called, because there was definitely some contact there. And that was Belga with the steal and the pass to Lassiter. So Kuanov, after the foul, goes to the line with Philippines already over the limit. Aram is checked in, as well as Matthew Wright for Tenorio and Aguilar. Both of them go out. And good steal from Mirzagaliev. Gets it to Marchuk, and who gets it off to Zagulin, and he lays it up and in. I think he might be having the greatest game of all time with Kazakhstan right now, considering the situation, especially. 23 points for Zagulin. And now Zagulin almost forced the turnover. Wright puts it up, and the battle for the board and Ugali had his hands on it, wasn't able to corral it. Lassiter, how about that? Even the blow to the nose doesn't mess up his shooting stroke. Zagulin left open, however, and it was a little long that time. Well, why not? He's been on the money for the most part today. Lassiter again, and Fajardo with the offensive rebound and putback, and the lead now 4 for Philippines. Chance of defense ringing throughout the Mall of Asia. Pass intercepted. Cracks are showing now for Kazakhstan. They needed timeout. Matthew Wright from the left misses badly. And Zagulin brings it forward. Don't be surprised. No, I was going to say if he goes all the way. Mirzagaliev. Oh, that was timely. What do I know about getting timeouts? Well, between Mirzagaliev and Zagulin, that has been really their biggest weapons, as well as Bykov down low. Mirzagaliev now has 11 points. He's hit 3 threes. And good box out by Bykov. Now Mirzagaliev hands it off, and the two-handed junk from Marchuk. Maxim Marchuk. And Kazakhstan back in front right when it seemed that the Philippines had the bit between the teeth. 13 assists now for each team. Here he is, Pringle. And the game just goes back and forth, back and forth. That's how they love it here. A good old-fashioned shootout. Well, I think they may have ruled that a 2 instead of a 3, because Philippines are up by 1. An unsportsmanlike foul called at midcourt. And Marchuk has got to play the ball. Marchuk wanted to stop the fast break. This was Marchuk, the good side of him, getting up for the two-handed rim rocker.
Two free throws for Stanley Pringle.
So the unsportsmanlike foul sends Pringle to the line, and he makes the first one. And also the second one. You know, you can just never tell during the World Cup qualifiers what is going to play out. The Philippines, much higher ranking, for example, than Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan number 70, Philippines are at 30. FIBA World Ranking presented by Nike. And obviously they've got the pedigree. They played the last World Cup, played the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. They hosted it in 2016. And Kazakhstan, not quite as famous in that regard as Philippines argued that they should have maintained possession after the ball was shot and hit the rim. But anyway, you know, Kazakhstan have come out, and perhaps Philippines not executing like they needed to. And we've got ourselves a game here. Kazakhstan with a golden opportunity for their basketball program to get a big result here today, but they've got to play great basketball over the final 11 minutes. Three-pointer is good. Goodness gracious, Zagulin is having a wonderful game. 26 points. The dump to Fajardo. He turns to his right. He's denied. Zagulin with the rebound. Might be the greatest performance by any player in Asia today, Zagulin. And a three-pointer is good. Just double checking something. Yeah, so that was Kuanov who hit the three. He had Zagulin open. Look, Zagulin was asking for it, and Kuanov said, I've got this. The three-point shot has been the best friend today of Kazakhstan, that and the rebounding. They're out rebounding Philippines 30-17. And both gunslingers go sit down to catch their breath. And the shot missed. And Kazakhstan actually lead it now by 3 points heading to the fourth quarter. 65-62.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is right here. You want it? Come and get it.
Well, here are the stats, and again, you look at the threes for Kazakhstan, 11 of 21. I mean, they've hit 5 more threes than the Philippines. And their free throw percentage has gone up as well. They're shooting it well inside, so defensively, you know, a lot of questions being asked of the Philippines right now, and they haven't provided any answers. Offensively, on the boards, Kazakhstan are doing a good job. Pringle did come in, and it seemed like the Philippines' play went up, coincided with his excellent effort. And Lassiter came out and gave him a burst of energy. But this man here, Zagulin, they haven't figured out at all. He has absolutely, you could almost say, dominated at times. He's so polished with his game today. Mirzagaliev has come out and helped with his three-point shooting. And also passing there on the break. And Philippines have to be careful here. They are flirting with what you might describe disaster here against Kazakhstan. If Kazakhstan win this game, they would improve to 4-5. And if the Philippines lose, they will be knotted at 5-4 with Japan, although the Philippines did win both of their games in the first round. Now, Stanley Pringle has 21 points. He's sitting down right now, a little bit frustrated. So the top 3 teams from each group and the best fourth place side will go through to the World Cup. Now, since China have already qualified, if they finish fourth or in the top 3, then another spot below would also go. And offensive rebound and putback from Fajardo. Shot no good. So the Philippines down 1, and they've got possession. That was Gavrilov who missed that one. Tabagnot, and again for the second consecutive trip down the floor, Fajardo with an offensive rebound. And the big question will be for Kazakhstan right now. Excellent drive and working his way to the free throw line was Nikolai Bazin. How long can they go with Zagulin over on the bench.
2 free throws for Nikolai Bajin.
So Bajin at the line for 2. You've got Bikov on the bench catching a breather. Yergali and Zagulin. So right now you can expect to get perhaps some points from Mirzagaliev as well as Kuanov.
Late violation, ball possession to the Philippines.
So Bajin misses the second, and then there's a lane violation. Had you watched Kazakhstan, the way they were picked apart in their last game in Australia, you wouldn't believe this was possible, but here they are, leading by 2 points against a team, the Philippines, that are 40 points higher than them in the FIBA World Ranking, presented by Nike. Right turns. And Fajardo fouled down low, so he will take a trip to the free throw line.
Foul is on number 24, Dmitry Gavrilov.
Gavrilov.
First team foul for Kazakhstan.
Well, it looks like Fajardo might have got away with a push to get into position.
Substitution for Kazakhstan, substitution for the Philippines.
Good work from that man there. He came in on 3 consecutive trips down the floor, really crashed the boards. But Philippines still in a dogfight here, knotted at 66 with 8.5 minutes remaining. Mirzagaliev inside in a two-handed jam from Kazakhstan's number 7, Bajin, who has been terrific. Three-pointer, no good. And Kabagnot, and saving the ball in bounds. Aram threw it off of the head of Mirzagaliev. And now he's going to take his time getting up. Looks like he may have been injured a little bit. And Mirzagaliev, don't think you can honestly complain when a guy is trying to save the ball in bounds. Watch this. He's falling out. He wasn't, that was not intentional. Clearly, he's not even looking at him. But clearly, Mirzagaliev, his teammates didn't see it like that. Oh, goodness. Aram slow to get up.
There's a foul on number 10. Technical foul on number 7, Poyera.
All right, so they've caught a technical. They've caught a foul on Mirzagaliev, and then they've caught a technical on Aram. Now, have they called a technical because he threw it off of his head? Or did he say something? So Mirzagaliev is at the free throw line. So even though he was called for a foul on the play because of the technical, he goes to the line and misses the free throw. Well, that was a bizarre situation there.
13 seconds on the shot clock.
Look at this, two-handed flush. That's one of the plays of the game right there.
Another foul on number 7, Nikolai Bajin. That's his 3rd foul.
Foul called on Bajin.
Substitution for the Philippines.
Well, you don't get the feeling that Kazakhstan will be able to pull away in this one, certainly. But on the other hand, Philippines really struggling to build any kind of lead here. And Norwood misses. Aguilar kept it alive. He's like a jumping jack, Aguilar. He can really get up. Beekhoff called for a foul on that.
13 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, things getting a little bit testy here as we get late. Beekhoff picks up a second consecutive. Javeth Aguilar takes a deep breath, bends the knees, and misses the first one. And Hingao says, "We're just not playing well today." But don't take anything away from Kazakhstan. They've come out and they've played well themselves. Much better than I've seen them play before, that's for sure. And Aguilar misses both free throws. Goodness me. At the line today, Philippines 10 of 14. Beautiful bounce pass. What a finish. And the foul. Put it on the highlight reel. Look at that pass. And look at the finish from Beekhoff. And he takes the contact from Aguilar. Wonderful concentration and strength. Fourth foul now on Aguilar. Having just missed a couple of free throws, he's doubly frustrated. Kazakhstan moved back in front by 5 points. Lassiter. And good strong rebound from Kazakhstan's number 25, Maxim Marchuk, who had that incredible two-handed throwdown in the last quarter. Here's Beechuk again, or Beekhoff, and this time he traveled.
Ball possession to the Philippines.
Oh, just a silky sweet move from Earl Scotty Thompson. Boy, he has played A-star quality today. And great steal by Lassiter. And it's Norwood who ties it up at 71. Mirzagaliev. And good strong move again from Maxim Marchuk. Lassiter did a great job coming up with a steal. And it led to this. I tell you, there's nothing like experience out there. I mean, give full marks to Lassiter, but also you got to hit that shot, and Norwood has done just that. And Maxim Marchuk puts Kazakhstan back in front. Here's Pringle. Drifts into the lane. Gets rid of it. Norwood now fumbles the pass. Quick pass from Scotty Thompson, but it was read by Kazakhstan. So unfortunate sequence there for Norwood. It looked like something happened, like the ball slipped as he was making the pass, and it led to a turnover. Now Zagulin goes behind his back, hands it off to Bekoff, who works his way inside and earns a trip to the line against Fajardo. Fajardo picks up the foul.
His second personal foul. 2 free throws for a tumbling over. Substitution for the Philippines.
Well, certainly Thompson has done his part today, and Pringle has as well. Tough shot on the drive, banks it in, but now Philippines need to stop. Usually good things happen if they can get it in the hands of Zagulin. Marchuk inside it goes again to Bekoff. Tough move, but great defense from Fajardo. Now Pringle at midcourt. Is he going to wait for his teammates? No, he's not. Wrong decision. Well, they catch a break. Goes out of bounds. And it'll be Philippines ball. But this is where he excelled. Look at this. This is a tough finish. How many hours of basketball has he played to be able to make a shot like that and to take it with that kind of confidence? Here's Pringle, goes to his right. Again, lays it up. Misses this time. Fajardo, however, gets the offensive rebound and put back and is also fouled. Well, that's when you got to be resilient. You got to stay after it. And it's all about position that. I mean, he's a tall man, but he had position. And he goes up and makes the free throw as well to put the Philippines back in front by a point. And they are going to count it as 2 points because Zagulin, watch, he tries to knock it off the rim and he got a hand on it. And that is the right call. So that is a double blow, a 4-point trip down the floor for the Philippines, and really it's the only thing that Zagulin has done wrong today. Although honestly, I guess you can't fault him for trying to knock it away. Good strong rebound from Marchuk, and then he is fouled by Pringle.
That's his first foul.
Well, your heart's going to bleed for Kazakhstan and especially Zagulin if they don't get a win today, because he could not have done anything more for his team. But on the other hand, you got to tip your hat to the Philippines. They've had a tough game, but they've stayed in it, and they're making important plays now. They've hit 16 of 23 free throws today. And Marchuk had been 2 of 2, and now he's missed 2 in a row. Tenorio, number 5 in the game, as well as Lassiter and Pringle. And Pringle, they just don't have an answer for him. He keeps putting it on the deck and going to the rack. He plays with so much confidence when he's got the ball in his hands. Chance of defense now. Zagulin, guarded by Norwood. Oh, he found his way in and he earns a trip to the line. He is carrying Kazakhstan on his back right now.
His third foul. Substitution for Kazakhstan.
The Marchuk goes out. He took back, Bikov back in. And Zagulin takes a deep breath, goes to the line and makes the first one. They're going to applaud him after this game. He's been terrific. Just 24 years of age, so the best is yet to come for this man. And now the steal, and Mirzagaliev would have done better to pull it out as opposed to trying to score. So Philippines escape. Pringle, long rebound. Yergali comes out on Lassiter, and an offensive foul on Norwood, trying to set a screen. Can they find Zagulin again? They need to get him the ball. They got it. He puts it up. Oh, goodness! He just has no fear. Look at him. 30 points. One of the great performances of all time by a Kazakhstan player. There's no doubt about it. And now almost a steal by Bikov. He knows no quitting, Zagulin. Look at this. And this is a tough shot, turnaround jumper. So Gao calls timeout to try to get his team to the finish line. But this Kazakhstan team is has been good today.
Marshall, look.
6-second shot now.
Instead of you setting the screen, you'll get the screen, a staggered screen.
Pringle with 25 leads the Philippines. 12 rebounds for Fajardo. 30 for Zagulin. 8 rebounds for Bikov. Boy, he just is really taking his game to new heights today. And you know, the fans back in Astana right now must be astounded how well this man is playing.
6.3 seconds on the shot clock.
30 points, 10 of 16 from the floor, 7 rebounds. Remember, Kazakhstan will play at Japan next. They need a win today, and if they win today, their confidence will be soaring. But they have a long trip before playing their game on Monday against Japan. Now from the baseline, coming right out of the timeout. And Tenorio scores and puts the Philippines back in front. Yergali, three-pointer, and Kazakhstan take the lead. Well, better late than never. He's had his struggles today, but they'll take a three if they can get it, and that's a sign of a good player who, despite the tough times, keeps putting them up. Pringle drives in again. He is scoring at will now. He is just repeatedly going to the basket like it's a layup drill. Yergali's just hit one. He gives the pass, and Pringle commits the foul. And that is only, fortunately for him and Philippines, his second. But it does put Ukraine on the line. And a little bit of love from the rim there. For Bajin, who makes the first and ties it at 83. And makes the second as well. So it's Kazakhstan back in front. I have to admit, coming into this one, I did not see this happening. I thought the Philippines would pull away. But Kazakhstan had other ideas. They want to spoil the party in Manila. But how about Pringle? Well, he was so effective, and now look at this. They pass it up, and they get a fast break. Bajin released early. And the Philippines and Pringle got caught napping. Now Tenorio has it. Pringle gets in. Oh, goodness me. Again from Pringle. Kazakhstan know he's going to shoot it, and he still scores. Mirzagaliev dribbles up high, bounce pass, and driving down the lane. And a reach and a foul called. And Beekoff will go to the free throw line. So I believe it's on Fajardo. It is indeed, and that's a good call. Looked like he raked him a little bit. You're always in danger if you're swiping down like that, and especially from behind. And Beekoff makes the first to put it back to a 2-point lead. Beekoff has quietly had himself a fine game today. 17 points, make it 18 now. And Kazakhstan back on top by 3. And these fans, boy, they're on the edges of their seats. Pringle puts up a 3 and misses, and now you wonder, you know, Pringle has been so good putting the ball on the deck and going to the basket. Was it not there? Was he thinking he needed to take a 3 to tie it? He's confident, there's no doubt about it. But from three-point range today, that's not been where he's been most effective. He's now 2 of 7 from three-point range. And the foul puts Kazakhstan at the line. Yergali, who just hit a big three-pointer, and now he makes this one. I'll tell you what, they're going to erect a statue for Zagulin back in Astana if they win this game. They should, because he has been utterly unbelievable. And he's just 24 years of age. And Yergali makes both, and the confidence. Look at this. Look at these players, and look at these players. They are stunned. They didn't anticipate Kazakhstan coming to Manila to spoil the party.
It's the easiest shot first, okay? We will just run a fist. Okay, this is going to be game. This is going to
29
be,
points for Pringle. 14 for Fajardo, 10 for Lassiter, and 8 for Tenorio. Those are the leading scorers for the Philippines.
You roll. Okay? Junmar, bago ka mag-flare ka muna para kay Marshall. Потому что что они будут делать? Пас, опять тройку закончил. Сейчас пас. Давай.
Well, you can only be happy for these guys that, first of all, they've been able to come out and put together this type of performance today, because they've been taking some beatings in recent times, and to come out and to play with the resolve that they have. You know, they have faced a couple of really tricky moments in this game, and they've survived, you know, particularly because Zagulin has been so good. And don't forget the coach. He is going to be over the moon. He's done a great job of getting these guys focused for this game, but Zagulin has been a superstar today. Well, 30 seconds to go, Pringle. And Lassiter hits a three. Boy, talk about big plays, ice running in his veins. And now Kazakhstan have called timeout. And you know that they're going to have to hit some free throws down the stretch. What a big shot that was by Lassiter. Twelve of 23 for Kazakhstan. That was the Philippines' 8th three-pointer made by Lassiter. He's 3 of 4 from deep today, Lassiter.
You also don't want to trap right away. Okay? Just a rebound, come down, run the fist. Okay?
So will they foul, or will they try to harry Kazakhstan and try to force a turnover and get it that way? Boy, that is a clutch shot right there, showing a lot of bottle. And Gao nods his head and says, yes, we'll take that. But they advance the ball because of the timeout after the made basket. Yogali has it. He gets inside, hands it off. Oh, what a play! He handed it off to Bykov. Executed to absolute perfection. Kazakhstan. Yogali, you got to tip your hat to him. The play was drawn up. He got him one-on-one. He knew the defense was coming to him, and he just had the little wraparound pass. Unbelievable. Wonderful execution.
Right here, okay? Now listen.
4-point lead with 12 seconds remaining. Can they close the deal? Kazakhstan. You see 19 assists for them, 21 turnovers. That's not good. But, hey, they're winning by 4. I don't think there's any doubt about it. This will be the most famous win, really, for Kazakhstan ever, if they can get this one. So he gets in. He knew Fajardo would come, and Bykov very wisely rolled to the basket and was there. What a sweet dish that was. Look at the celebrations from the Kazakhstan players. And you simply, you know what? In basketball, you just never know. And I say that because also with 12 seconds left, there's still time for the Philippines. Three-point attempt. No good. Rebound Kazakhstan. They have to commit the foul. The three was attempted by Tenorio. And now Bykov has it with 4.3 seconds remaining. And Kazakhstan are closing in on what has to be arguably their greatest ever win. Stunning success in Manila. And Yingao can't believe it. There are simply no guarantees in international basketball, and certainly not in these World Cup qualifiers. Despite playing at home, despite being the huge favorites, despite having a ranking of plus 40 more than your opponent today, the Philippines are going to fall. Three-pointer right at the end, and that is off target. And let the celebrations begin back in Astana in here for this Kazakhstan team, led by that man Zagulin. An unbelievable result for Kazakhstan basketball. Their World Cup hopes are well and truly alive, folks. And the Philippines now know they've got a lot of work to do themselves to make sure they book their place. So 92-88, Kazakhstan win it over the Philippines, and Philippines have certainly had their share of adversity in these qualifiers. And you can see Norwood talking about it, and and I just wonder if they were mentally ready to play this game today. You go back to those timeouts during the huddle, and Yingao saying we're not executing the offense that we prepared for. Look at the shooting, 12 of 23 from deep. Did well inside. Their execution got better as the game wore on as well, Kazakhstan. Philippines, once the desperation kicked in, they started to play better, but it's you play with fire, you get burned, and they certainly did today. And look at that, Kazakhstan in the end, they had the 14 turnovers in the first half. They finished with 21, just a half turnover less than what their average has been. And the only thing you need to look at really are the stunned looks on the faces of the Filipino players. They cannot believe they've lost to Kazakhstan at home. They're going to have a hard time living this one down, but you can take nothing away from Kazakhstan. They were brilliant today. Zagulin with 30, Bykov with 20, Mirzagaliev with 11. They hit timely shots. Their execution was impeccable late in the game, especially after timeouts. Full marks go to the coaching staff, Renatas Karilianokis and Yevgeny Isakov. A wonderful day for Kazakhstan basketball as we now look back at some of the highlights that, quite frankly, folks, this might be the result of this window because nobody saw it coming. This was that great two-handed jam by Bajan. Norwood came out and hit that big three, and Pringle, and I almost, Pringle was so good driving to the basket, but a couple of times he settled for three-pointers, and, he was really he was getting something out of every time he went to the basket, but that was a huge shot there from Zagulin. That was a big shot as well coming out of a timeout. Again, he was almost unstoppable, Pringle, going to the basket. Lassiter hit this three. You thought, okay, Philippines are still okay. But then this play coming out of the timeout, the pass from Yergali and the finish from Bykov. And you can only applaud Kazakhstan for first talking about that in the huddle and going out and executing the play. And you feel for these fans in the Philippines because you know how much they love their national team. But they have come out today and they have lost And questions certainly will be asked as to what has happened, and are they going to have what it takes to get to the finish line? Because don't forget now the Philippines, as you look at their closing schedule, coming up next, they will be at home against Iran. Now, which Iran is going to show up? Will it be the Iran that showed up today in Australia without Hamed, without Samad, and without Kazemi and Mashieki? I don't know. And, you know, also you've got the Philippines playing at Qatar, which would be, you would assume, a Philippines win. But after today, all bets are off. And then they have to finish February 24th at Kazakhstan. So they have to play this Kazakhstan team again. And depending on what the records are and everything else, you know, and I think probably the Philippines will have a stronger player. They'll have their players back from suspensions. So that'll be more difficult, you would imagine, for Kazakhstan. But Kazakhstan should grow in belief after this win. They have to rate their chances of staying in this thing until the end. And why not? Why not? All you got to do is you got to play the game. They've improved to 4-5. Philippines have dropped to 5-4. As you look at the standings, there's still basketball to be played, and that's what the World Cup qualifiers are all about. The only one that is in the World Cup now is Australia after their win today over Iran. So one final time here from Manila, it's the Philippines falling at home to Kazakhstan in a major upset, 92-88, here in the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 Asian Qualifiers Group F. Thanks for watching, everyone. A lot more basketball coming your way. Again, both of these teams, each of them will have one more game in this window. Thanks for watching.